What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know. Das. We get it in. But before we get it in, let's get to this motherfucking intro. Welcome back, and if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. I don't know which direction, but it's dope, and I'm kicking it, right? Hey, I'm very humbled. Thank you for all your support. You know, in the words of the superstar himself, the superstar, let's get to it. Let's listen to the superstar.
I was in high power with Tory Lanez.
There we go, man. He was in high power with Tory Lanez. So let's get straight to it, man. I'm going to tell you guys another prison story. This is another super ooze. Pineapples and hand grenades. Duck. You better duck before you get hit with a can of Spam. I'm not playing, man. Straight from the islands. And we're not talking about Nanu or Fantasy Island. We're talking about some real shit here. Superwood. Now, this dude right here, I kept at a distance. I've always been cool with Samoans. Usos, Sole, all that. Like I've said, every time, man, I have Samoan partners right now to this day I could call. First thing they do, what up, Oos? You want to stick? No, I don't need you to fucking kill no one or roast nothing. But what's up, right? Oh, ain't nothing like it, Oos. Ain't nothing like it. Like what? Like life, right? And then they'll start getting all philosophical and shit. I love some Samoans, man. They're good people. Probably some of the best people I ever met. But this dude was on the yard with me, and I could just tell. I had a gut feeling. This Vato was all bad. In fact, I knew he was all bad. Like he was up to no good. Later on, we found out he was up to even worse. So, you know, when you're in prison, you don't like to see people get bullied. You don't like to see people getting deboed on. It's just not a good thing to do. But if it's happening within your own ethnicity, your own carro, your own people, no one else can speak on it. Whatever's going on over there is going to stay over there. Whatever's going on right here is that I hope nothing's going on right here, right, is where I'm going to be. So there was a gang of Usos on this particular yard. Probably like, when I say a gang of them, probably like 8 or 9 of them, which is a lot for a prison yard. They associated with the Asians. They were all the other cars. So you had like maybe 20 Asians, 8 or 9 Usos. They were thick. They were deep, man. And one thing about the Usos, they're the calmest, coolest people. Asians don't say too much. They're just with the get down straight up. It's just cool, man. Hey, their food, when they be busting spreads, it smells Hawaiian. Like it has a salty yet sweet. Like they be getting off on their sweet and sour. Asians and Samoans know how to cook. I seen Samoans taking about 6-7 cases of soups to the yard each, right? They're going to get down. They eat. Their motherfucking bicep is bigger than our whole spread. So anyways, these dudes were all cool, but there was one. He was a big old Uso meathead, bald-headed, all tacked back. He had done time in the feds. Now, I'm not used to federal Usos. I'm used to state Usos. State Usos be like, hey, Sully, can I borrow some beans? Federal Usos were like, oof, right? Oh, fuck, right? They didn't like anybody. This dude in particular, for some reason. So this little Tongan kid comes. Now, I don't know how it is nowadays, but back in the days, Tongans and Samoans used to have lightweight beef on the streets. In prison, that shit all to the side. They're islanders. All islander people, Guamanians, Samoans, any Polynesian people, any islanders, they're all going to get along. They're going to let this shit go. But again, man, this big old meathead and I call him meathead, man. They actually called him blockhead. That's what they called him, but I call him meathead. You know, that motherfucker got a pack of hamburger meat. He had 2 packs of hot dogs and a pack of hamburger meat on the back of his head. He was ready for a fucking barbecue. So he gets this Celly. He's a little skinny Tongan. And usually Samoans are super big. Tongans are they're meaty, right? They're swole. This was a little skinny, bony-ass fucking Tongan. In fact, I didn't even think he was I knew he was a Tongan, but I thought he was different. Like fucking some Micronesian or some micro. Emphasis on the micro. Skinny, just bone. I'm a thin motherfucker, but this motherfucker right here was wrist, right? So anyways, he gets sold up with that big old federal ooze. And I was cool with this one Uso, man. We used to chop it up all the time. He's from my city, right? He's not from my city, but he moved to my city. So we used to reminisce. Hey, ooze, back when I lived over there, we used to go A-Town. We used to go over here. We used to go over there. Like, we could reminisce like a motherfucker on shit that we did. So I'm like, all right, that's what's up. And he tells me, he's like, hey, bro, that fucking dude that came from the feds, I don't like that motherfucker, bro, right? I said, yeah. He seems different, man, from Usos that I'm used to. He see, yeah, motherfucker thinks his shit don't stink. He thinks because he did like 10 in the feds that he's just better than motherfucker. He goes, you know what the cold part is? I said, well, he said, he'll probably beat the shit out of all of us. I said, yeah, man, speak for yourselves. We'll just stab the shit out of him. We're Northerners, right? But he was cool. That was about it. So when that dude would come out, because we functioned on the same side of the yard, and he would come like right there, I always walked around like, man, I didn't even want to be around him because the way he talked to his people was highly disrespectful. And I've never been around an Oos like that. The closest I got to some disrespectful shit was the homeboy Lion, who thought he could beat every man that walked God's green earth up easily, right? And he used to, hey, that motherfucker was a real islander. He spoke in like a different type of dialect. He spoke half lion, half man, right? He'd be like, hey, I was like, God damn, he roared when he talked. But then when he sang, he sounded like fucking El DeBarge. I've been thinking about you for quite a while. Then I'm like, get it, Oos. I am motherfucker Celly. I'm on my mind every day. Hey, that motherfucker was straight El DeBarge. Big old fucking wild El DeBarge. Rest in peace to the homie Lion. Anyway, so this dude, he has this little Tongan dude as a Celly. And this Tongan dude, I would see his arms. He always wears blue button up, like his blue shirt. It'd be hot out there. Be hot on the yard. And motherfuckers got their t-shirts off. You know, they're showing their attack back. You know, if you're a Northerner, you got to keep your fucking shirt on. But we got our shirts off. Everyone's just chilling. And this dude always wears blue shirt. One day I chop it up with him. He used to always kick it with the Asians. Like mostly talk to the Asians. I guess he felt, you know, he wasn't oos enough to be oosy. So anyways, I'm chopping it up with him one day. I see him and I'm like, hey, bro, why don't you take your shirt off? It's fucking like 110 degrees. He's like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. And he was a Tongan. I'm good. And I'm like, damn, bro, you tatted? I was trying to get him to get his shirt off because I knew he's fucking hot. So you tatted? He said, yeah, I got some tattoos. So he rolls his sleeves up. It's all difficult. And she's trying to roll them up. I'm like, bro, just come out the shirt, homie. You know what I'm saying? Relax, bro. We're on the yacht. You could get stabbed tomorrow. So enjoy today. It's the way it is. So he's like, you're right, man. So he takes his shirt off. And this motherfucker had bruises the size of fucking softballs all over his back, lumps and shit. And they were all on his back, not on his arms, not on his chest, on his back. And I was like, damn, what's this? You know, usually motherfuckers play chess. You ever play chess with someone? Boom, you hit each other in the chest or slap boxing or whatever. And I was like, hey, what happened? He said, oh, me and my Celly were playing chess. I said, chess like king me or like chest? He said, yeah, chess, like hitting each other. I said, yeah, but why do you got bruises on your back? He said, well, the motherfucker was hitting me so hard in the chest, my back kept hitting the wall. And I was like, damn. He said, that motherfucker was like pushing me with this fist. So I thought, okay, they're just playing whatever. Next time he comes out, he takes his shirt off. This motherfucker has lesions, if you know what that is, right? His shit is like all swolled up. He's fucked up. And now it's all on his shoulders, his chest, his arms. I was like, damn, bro, you obviously look like you're losing in the game of chess. You should probably stop playing that. And he's just real quiet. He's like, yeah. And I just kept seeing him get more and more sadder. And that's not the Usos way. That's not the Tongans way. They're very prideful people. They're like, the island, right? Ooh, like they're fucking out there. They really fucking love their heritage. And so to see him getting all quiet, and I was like, man, something bad's happening to this dude, right? So I tell the Uso that I'm cool with. I said, what's up? And he was like, man, I don't give a fuck. He's Tongan, bro. That's him. He was like super gangster. He was a Crip, this Uso. I was like, yeah, bro, but he's one of your peoples. He said, he ain't my people, bro. I kick it with him because I have to, but I don't want to. The homie was a youngster. He was a gangbanger, right? So I was like, that's right, Oos, whatever. You know, it was none of my business. The homies were telling me, I was like, hey, you see fucking that dude? They're like, that's on him, bro. It's probably in there fucking him. Well, right? It was a Diddy party going on in there. So the more clamshell he gets, the more weird he gets. One day I just asked him, I'm like, what's up, bro? Are you good? Like, you need help or something? You know what I'm saying? SOS, but not Sons of Samoa, like just, you know, or Mayday, or what the fuck, or do you need me to fucking write it in hieroglyphics, or did the dude pull your eyes out and you need to do it in Braille? Like, what do you need to do, bro? Sign language, speak Nawa, Swahili, Jijidi, Jenawim, Bojanane. Do you want me to speak some Uso? What do you want me to do? Get F, right? He's like, nah. He's like, man, my Celly, he be taking my shit. So I figured, damn, he's taking his canteen, whatever, right? Shit on the end of his dick, right? He was taking some different time, some oosy shit, right? It was getting real oosy, loosey, and juicy in that motherfucker, right? So the big dude, meathead, sees me talking to this dude every time because now I'm concerned, man. It's none of my business. And the homies told me, hey, leave that shit alone, bro. That's because I'm telling him, like, hey, bro, that fucking Uso dude's fucking him up. They're like, so what, bro? You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Usos will handle it. And I know better. I should have known better. Let the fucking Usos handle their business. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about big dudes who are used to fucking carrying a whole pig to roast on their shoulders. Big dudes. You just leave Islanders alone. Caution. Warning. Guard! Leave Usos alone. Or you could
I was in high power with Tory Lanez.
end up on high power with Tory Lanez, or end up like Tory Lanez, as Danny Masterson is your Celly. You just got to relax, right? So anyways, the big blockhead, right? Meathead, he sees me talking to this dude. So he comes over and he's like, what's up? He tells Celly, what's up, Oos? And Celly's like, oh, nothing. And he's kind of looking at him like if he's told me anything. And he hasn't told me anything besides he took his shit and he's fucking beating upon him a little bit, right? I'm not going to say nothing because it was at that moment right there I realized, damn, his fists are bigger than I thought from a distance. I never been that close to his fists. Them motherfuckers are bigger than my ham hocks. I'm cool, right? So I'm like, oh, what's up, Oos? I play all Mr. Nice Guy. All fucking one lazy eye, one big eye. What's up, Oos? Right? He's like, what's up? But just an asshole. The asshole vibes, which I've never got from an Islander. So anyways, I tell the dude, all right, man, cool. I'm going to go play handball, bro. Fuck you and the fucking Uso you rode up in here with. So I'm chilling, I'm mobbing. A couple days later, man, that dude doesn't come out of his cell. Now, there was tension on the yard between the Blacks and the Usos. What happened was this Crip had got there. He got in a fight with a Uso over a basketball game, right? Uso put all kinds of fucking big old meat cleavers on him, all kinds of Spam cans on him, right? So as he hit him with the Spam cans, he hit him with some of that fucking musubi. The Blacks are feeling some type of way, the Crips. And Bloods wasn't really involved. There was this one Samoan who was a Blood, man. And he was hella cool with the Bloods. There was actually Blacks there from his neighborhood. They were from the same neighborhood. So they were hella cool. So anyways, the Bloods were real cool with the others because of that dude. So it was the Crip thing. So the word on the curb was this Crip was supposed to come out and book this Uso that beat him up. And you can't speak like ill will about the Usos. Like you can't say you're going to do something because them motherfuckers will take your knife and put it where the sun does shine after it didn't shine for a while. Like they'll fucking reach all the way through your asshole and it'll come out your mouth and then pull it back in. So like I said, it'll shine, then unshine. They're known to shine. So they're ready. It's about to go down. So all the Usos have to be on deck. All the Asians got to be on deck. And I remember one of the Uso homies was like, hey, he told us we're Northerners. We're right there. He's like, hey, if it cracks off, if the Crips run up, you guys get out the way. Like it has nothing to do with you. You know, instead of fucking being some scary motherfuckers like, hey, can you back us up, man? If we rock, will you rock? They're like, just get the fuck out of our way. Watch us fucking shine, right? That's okay. They're fucking braiding their hair and cornrows and shit. I was like, oh, it's about to go down. Have you ever seen an Uso braid? Man, an average man would get the hair ripped from the roots. Them motherfuckers like, they're pulling shit, knotting it up. Usos are just taking it like, that's right, Sole. You know, buy up. They're just chilling. I'm like, motherfucker looks like he's trying to rip his hair out of his head, out of his scalp. He's trying to scalp him. The natives are over there licking their lips and shit. Anyways, so these black dudes are about to get off. So they're supposed to all come out to the yard, where the little Tongan youngster don't come out to the yard, right? He don't come out to the yard. And so I'm like, damn, man, that motherfucker probably in there got beat up. And the Blacks and the Samoans get off. The other car, they get off. They fuck that Crip up. He tries to swing like a beat up ass knife. It bends and shit on the Usos fucking wrist. And then they're fucking him up. And the gang of Crips, I ain't gonna lie, man, the Crips were getting busy. They were getting their money. They were on Crip 50 cuz they were getting theirs. There was a dude from A-Trade knocking dudes out. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Asians, boom, boom. The Asian brothers, they were going to sleep. There was a bunch of Jackie Chans getting Chan Jackie. It was ugly. The Usos were handling their business. I seen one choking out two Crips. Like, how do I look, Us? How's my hair look? Like, looks good, so late. The other one's being so they're crazy. So now they go to the oil. The ones that get caught up can't get Asians and Usos stay back. There was some that were at work that couldn't participate. And that youngster comes out. And now the dudes are tripping on him because he didn't show up. But he's telling them he was sick. He had the bubble guts. He didn't have the bubble guts. He had the penis guts. I'll explain to you. So it comes out. We start hearing rumors. Like, I stopped fucking with him, talking to him, because he's like all withdrawn. He looks like the golem. Yeah, my precious. He hit me in my precious. Yeah, well, it's not precious no more. He unprecioused it, right? Your shit went from my ring, my precious, to fucking precious from that movie. All big and shit, all fat. He tore you inside out. So he was in there. What happened was he turned them out and they became whatever you want to call it, whatever they become, right? You know what I'm talking about. They became that. And it was against that dude's kind of against his will, but he started going with the flow. And it got to the point where that big Uso from the feds was literally like domestic violence in there. You know, that dude was a desperate housewife. The whole time I thought he was taking advantage, beating him up, taking his shit, doing this. No, what was going on was he turned him out, and that dude would be jealous if he talked to anybody else on the yard. They're like, just weird shit. Motherfucker, he just transitioned up in that motherfucker, right? So we're hearing all this, me and the homies. I'm like, nah, I'm hearing it from the Uso partner too. He's like, no, for real, fool. That fool just like got him under his wing, literally. Like literally, he got him under his sack too. I was like, oh. So the youngster paroles first. The other dude had like 2 more years left. He ends up getting in a fight with a big old blood dude. Blood dude fucking caves his face in. Boom, sneaks him. Knocks the Uso out, right? Uso's fucked up. I'm like, oh, when that Uso get out of the hole, he's gonna break coconuts around this motherfucker, right? He's gonna pop some shit. No, Us. Nope. Us gets shipped out. Us signs a chrono. Us goes to the SNY yard, right? So Us is out of there. Never seen that before either. I was like, damn, what happened in the feds? Their water's different. So he's gone, and I forget all about him. Out. Well, one of the Tongans that was in there, one of the Tongan dudes, knows that youngster. I guess they were like related, because that's one thing about the Islanders. They're all related somehow. They know each other's sisters, each other's brothers. They ate the fucking same horse. Like something is good, right? And so when that young Uso got, that young Tongan got out, he was writing people. Even though everyone knew he was full blown, not hetero anymore, right? Something was going on in that cell, but as long as they didn't bring it to the yard and they kept it within their own, nobody was tripping. That was their own thing. Usos weren't tripping off him. They were utilizing him because he had cantina shit. So anyways, he paroles and one of the Tongans is writing him. Well, that dude that was in the feds, Big Meathead, he ends up paroling. I don't know how, somehow, some way, he doesn't have shit. He gets a hold of that Tongan that he was in there just right, dancing. They end up hooking up and becoming a couple. It's years later, right? But I didn't know that. It's years later, and I'm chilling in San Jose, my primo's house. And there's a gang of Usos from SOS. You know what I'm saying? Usos with the motherfucking activities out there. And my primo's having a party, and there's a few dudes from the SOS out there at his pad. Like, dudes he grew up with, he went to high school with in Sanjo, all that. And I'm right there. This is way before YouTube, any of that shit. I'm chilling back there with them, whatever. I'm not active at the time anymore. Not a gang member. I got family, my kids in the pool. We're just chilling, having a good time. And the Usos get to town, so I start telling them that story, like, hey, man, because they're talking about Tongan this, Tongan that. They used to get off with the Tongans and whatever, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, man, I remember this one Tongan cat, man, this Uso was doing something. He was, you know what I'm saying? You ever plowed a field? Nah, well, he did, right? And he was, so as I'm telling the story, one dude's like, hey, I know who you're talking about, bro. He's from Sacramento, huh? The fucking little Tongan dude. I said, yeah. He was from Sac. He said, yeah, bro, did you hear what happened? I said, what happened? He said, I don't know if it's the same dude, but one of his cellies, bro, they were like lovers and shit. I said, yeah, that was them. He said, yeah, bro, his celly ate him. I said, shut the fuck up, bro. He said, no, serious, bro. That motherfucker did the big lurch, what is his name? Big lurch, big whatever he is. That motherfucker got all skunted out and ate that motherfucker, killed him and ate him. I said, no. So I was like, damn, he ate that little Tongan. He said, no, the Tongan ate him. I said, no, right? So the whole time, and this is the trippy part of it, the whole time I thought big federal Uso was effing him, just F it, Us. We the ones, right? I thought he was the Jacob Fatu. I thought he was the motherfucking, the Samoan werewolf. He was in there getting nibbled on, right? Oh boy, the Tongan was the aggressor. He liked the bruises on his back. Hit me more, right? He was in there on some wild shit. I don't know what happened, if it became a domestic issue or he was just infatuated, but he ended up eating big old meathead. So like I said, the 2 packs of hamburger meat and the hot dogs actually came in handy. Crazy fucking story, huh? True facts, true story, man. Hey, we were all laughing. I was in my cousin's backyard like, no way, right? Yeah, for reals. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This one was a little gruesome, a little gory, a little, a little ditty-ish, but it was what it was. It was the facts. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people, man. If you guys like these supers, let's get these supers. Should I hit you guys with one more, a super norteño? Or you guys want a Super Pepe? Let me know. Let me know if you want a Super Norteño or Super Pepe. I got both, man, on deck. The gun. Bang, bang.